Instacart is here to keep you on the couch this basketball season. With pre-game rituals and post-game interviews, it's hard to find time for everything else. Let Instacart handle your game day snacks or weekly restocks with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. Download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
Oh, look at who's here. Oh my God, is it bitch number 1 and bitch number 2? It's like we're in Cat in the Hat.
Hi, we're going to fuck up your house before your mom gets home.
Yeah, let us in, let us in. You don't know how we got in, and you don't know how we're going to get out. Welcome to Who's the Bitch, everybody. My name is Jackie Zabrowski.
And I'm Kara Clink.
How you feeling, Care?
I'm feeling good about talking about more bitchiness.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of bitches out there, and there's a lot of bitches in here, and I think you'd think we'd be all full up of bitch by now, but nah, babes, we're always begging for more.
So much fucking bitch talk. All right, we're going to kick it off. Because I like these when people send us in like, who's the bitch out in the wilds,
yes,
kind of, you
love
know?
It.
Like, so somebody named Ricky. So Ricky wrote us, who's the bitch in Breaking Bad? I recently started rewatching the whole series, currently in the middle of season 3. Who's the bitch, Walt or Skyler? Love you both and love this podcast and everything else you guys do and Last Podcast Network. But then she gave a little bit of, or he, I don't know if Ricky's a boy or girl, but, or non-binary, but they said Skyler's valid because what Walt's doing does lead to serious consequences, but she doesn't allow him to explain that he originally just wanted to make enough money to where he felt his family would be okay once he's gone. But then he gets a bit unhinged and just starts cooking for the hell of it. He goes into remission and doesn't want to go back to his normal life as he knows it. IDK, but there's obviously far more to it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, gosh, it's been a minute since I watched Breaking Bad, but immediately I go to Walt is the bitch. I mean, Walt is the bitch.
Obviously,
but that's why we watch the show, for him.
Completely.
He's got main character bitch energy.
I do remember, though, when I first started watching, here's the thing, when it came to Breaking Bad, everyone flipped out about it. I hadn't watched any of it until the final season started dropping and the world went mad for it.
Yeah.
And it was back when I was doing Page 7, so I was like, all right, I got to get on this train. So in like a month, like I caught up, watched all of the seasons of Breaking Bad so that with the world I could watch the final 4 episodes of the season. So I was able to do all of it.
Really.
And then I was so in the world of Breaking Bad when you just swallow something whole.
I was
like
listening to TV on the radio songs from the episodes.
Yeah.
I was listening to the soundtrack. I was so deep. In fact, we've talked about this on the pod before, I think, waiting for your spouse to catch up on it or watch a show or something. I famously could not watch the finale, and Jared was on the road and I watched it without him and then pretended that I didn't.
Oh my God.
And watched it again with him.
Did he ever find out?
I was like, I can't. I'm on the internet. I'm going to get spoilers. I just I had to watch it. I think I've told him now. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. I definitely watched that without you. My bad.
Here's the thing, especially when you first start watching, man, Skyler's such a bitch. But the thing is that that's the person that he was in a relationship with. It seemed like that, if I remember correctly at the top of the show, she was just Walt always made the money. She was just of what used to be a more typical, right?
She's also pregnant right at the beginning, right?
And then she's got the baby. And I remember there was that party up top and he doesn't show up for the party. And she's just it gave me real big, Sally Fields energy. But here's the thing, Sally Fields in Mrs. Doubtfire, we all remember as a kid, she was the big bitch of the movie. And then you watch as an adult.
She is the mental load carrier in the family.
Yes.
Okay?
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying, that now as adults, you look and you're like, oh, well, Sally Fields was dealing with a lot. think about what Skylar is dealing with.
Yes.
A lot is on her plate.
She's dealing with a lot, and it's so misogynistic the way the fan base was like, why won't you just let Walt be a drug kingpin? Why won't you let him expose your family to the wrath of these cold-blooded fucking killers?
Because you have a teenager with special needs and an infant child at home while your husband cooks drugs. Like that's insane.
It was so compelling at the beginning because it was like, wow, he is using what he knows how to do to set up his family for a future without him. And that was so compelling. I think what's also compelling for television is that he completely kind of falls for the lifestyle and doesn't want to leave it.
Right.
And like it's a masterful fucking television show. But people, I can't believe people hated this. I mean, there were New York Times articles about how much people hated Skylar.
Certainly.
I feel like Anna Gunn, the actress, her career has suffered from it.
I feel bad for her
because of the the misogyny that's like, let him be the main character, let him do the shit that main characters do, and it's like, dog, she's keeping a family together, and then he implicates her, and she has to forcibly be part of this criminal enterprise,
right? And especially with the laundering of the money and everything. But this makes so much sense. You know, not that long ago, we were talking about Sons of Anarchy, and I had remembered that I had seen some of Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
This, I feel like, go with me on this. Sons of Anarchy started the same year as Breaking Bad. And I do wonder if people, because like you're looking at Katie Sagal, be Katie Sagal in that show and just be like a badass kingpin, that I feel like people expected more of that energy from Skylar. But if you think about it, she was never that.
That's not who she was.
That's not who she was. It's not what she was going into. So if you think about
Katie Sagal is a fucking perfect example in that show.
Yes.
She's quote unquote a matriarch, but in a motorcycle gang, the men rule everything.
Yes.
So she's powerful, I guess, over the lowest men, but not over anything really. Like,
exactly, like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, like you are. That show, she's a perfect, if you're a misogynist, she's a perfect character because all she does is excuse her son's behavior and her husband's behavior and the men's behavior.
Yep.
That's all she does. And she enables them and she provides them love no matter what. And Skylar was like, oh, fuck, you're actually not allowed. I mean, it's more of a real world character.
Yeah, I've got to launder the money now. It's like, think about having to do that. On top of Kara, everything that you do, then
now
all of a sudden you find Jared's like a kingpin of something, right? You have to do what?
Can you
now?
imagine? I'd almost be proud. It would be such
At least you get the money. You know what I mean? At least go get that money. This is my problem is on The Sims. I have made Jeff on The Sims. I play The Sims of our lives and all of us. I haven't created you yet, Kara.
Ooh.
But in The Sims, Jeff is a mob kingpin. And I love it because in real life, I don't want to be a mob kingpin's wife. But do I? But then in The Sims, I get to live these things out. And in The Sims, it's like, yeah, I am, who knows? I did move in a ghost third, but I'm not going to go into that. That's really making things difficult. But he's a kingpin. And he still lets me live my life.
Yeah, but in reality, you married the nicest guy ever. And if you fucking got involved in illegal shit, you'd be pissed.
I know, but also, though, man, take me to the top. I could so be a Katie Sagal.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just crazy how much, like, misogyny was thrown at a fictional character.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
To answer your question, I think Walt is the bitch, but a bitch I like to watch.
A bitch I like to watch.
A bitch in one of the most iconic television shows of all time.
And maybe a bitch that might also be a little woke when it comes to admitting that women have it hard.
Oh, let's get into this. Let's get into our unsolicited advice where we give advice about shit in pop culture that no one asked us about, but we want to talk about it.
Yes, and I have been seeing this. Logan Paul, so over on our live shows, Logan Paul, we have changed it from Kanye to the Paul brothers on the other end of the bitch spectrum because we don't even want to talk about Kanye anymore.
The Paul brothers are they're the 5 level, the top level of the bitchometer.
Yes. And so, of course, Logan Paul, they've got this new show on Max. I refuse to even give it the ratings. I will not watch
don't even say what it's called.
I won't. I don't give a shit. But here's the thing. For those that don't know how annoying Logan Paul is, he's very, 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 very annoying. And in one of those ways that he's very annoying, not the fact that he has married a person and has now sired a daughter or is about to sire a daughter. He did say on the show that, thinking about having a daughter My mind went to some dark places, dude. I don't want to come across like a woke asshole, but like, dude, women have it hard. Women have it fucking hard, and I empathize with them.
Oh, did your brain do a little iPhone slideshow of how you've been shitty to women over the past years? And then you realize, holy shit, I'm about to have one of those.
Oh my God, am I a woke asshole? The fact that the phrase, I don't want to be a woke asshole, while providing the slightest amount of empathy towards women as a whole. Oh, thank you, Logan Paul. Oh my God, I wish I was sucking in your dick right
Just
now.
the way that the word woke has been absolutely commandeered by toolbots is crazy.
Is insane. The fact that I guess, man, that does make you woke. Yuck. I don't think that any of us over here are gonna take you back. So don't worry, you're not woke enough for us by thinking about women's existences for a moment. Yeah, we got it a little hard out there, bro. Thanks so much for thinking about it for a moment. Especially, it's like, certainly considering everything that is going on right now, you're going to be like, yeah, I guess.
Well, this is so funny because this is literally, we're watching the, as the father of daughters, like, you know, that whole thing, like, yeah, you're the father of daughters. You're also the son of a woman.
Yes.
Most of you have been born by a woman.
Yes.
You have a mother.
Yes.
And you hopefully have a friend, or some of you have partners that are women. And it's just so crazy. It's like, until my own DNA was passed into somebody with a vagina, I realized, whoa, they're people.
Whoa,
like, it's
oh my God.
so crazy.
Oh my God, do they deserve a right? Like,
and
maybe
I'm
just
sure
one
you
right.
thought he was going to get like fucking applauded for this shit. But
yeah, that
and I guess
also,
whatever. I'm glad Parenthood's making you think differently.
No, he was saying it like he was ashamed, Kara. Like, he was saying it as if like he like didn't want to like incite the army to come after him because now he might be a woke guy.
He's gonna lose followers, man.
God, he's just, I don't believe in violence, but some people just don't. I know that he's been fighting too. Someone needs to hit him harder. He needs to be hit harder.
He's a little bitch, and I hope his baby girl shat all over him during a diaper change at some point.
Yes, every day.
He got a mouthful
like
of shit.
he's going to be changing diapers,
Well,
Kara.
that's
you think
probably
he's
true.
going to be changing? No, he's going to get shit on, and then he's going to hand the child to someone else to do it. You think
That's true. That's true.
Stuff. No, he's got a career to get off at the ground.
Ugh. I honestly, like, I don't want to even talk about him anymore.
Yuck and a half. Don't worry. We're
He's a
moving on to
bitch.
Demi Moore. Demi Moore weighs
Cleanse
in.
my palate with that fucking awesome bitch.
Talk about a hot bitch that's going everywhere. And yes, I still believe that you deserve the Oscar, but that's fine. We're not going down that road right now. But Demi Moore is weighing in on going gray. Now, she has said that she apparently only started dyeing her hair at the age of 55. And she said the only reason why she started dyeing her hair, which I completely get as someone that is having gray come in. It's weird because I am not anti-gray whatsoever. I like gray and I think gray is really sexy, but it's weird because it like makes your like it I have never dyed my hair ever. So it looks like
virgin hair.
Yeah, I've got virgin hair. So it looks like I've started getting like layers, but just in the bottom parts of my head. What is this called? The roots.
Yeah.
Like it's starting to get blonde. It looks blondish at the roots, which looks weird, but I don't need to go down that road right now because here's the thing. Demi Moore was asked if she would ever want to go gray, and she was like, I'm not against it. I would definitely do it. I just want to wait until the gray is coming in stronger so that there's more gray, which I completely understand. But the one thing she did say she was completely against doing and would never do again is a drastic haircut. She said, I remember, she's like, I did G.I. Jane. I've done the whole like shaving my head. I've done that.
Yeah.
I never want to do it ever again. I don't want to go through that. I wanted to posit this to you, Kara, because I was just yesterday. We were at an awesome horror convention over the weekend, and I've recently grown out the side shave of my head,
right.
which took me so long to do. But then I see all these cool people with their shaved heads, and I'm like, I could shave it again. Yeah, I could shave it again.
Yeah.
What age do you hit that you're just like, never again will I do a drastic haircut?
Oh, I don't think there's any age for it, really.
When was the last time you did a drastic haircut?
Here's the thing.
You.
I've never really done one.
Really?
I've never done a drastic haircut.
Really?
I maybe in 6th grade, I had long hair and I got it to a long bob.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I sort of hated that because my hair was curly. And when I did that, it kind of went straight. And then, but it's still curly wavy or whatever. But my hair's so fucking thick and unruly that I honestly feel like it can only be long the way I have it, and
it
that's
looks great. It always looks good.
Thank you, but I feel like really boring, and I've thought about it, but I can't do a bob. I can't do bangs. Look, we were just talking about Leslie Bibb. If you haven't heard about it, if we wear a couple of White Lotus heads on this podcast, but Leslie Bibb always has this little short haircut, and I guess on the set of White Lotus, Amy Lou Wood said something to her like, "Oh, my friend loves your cunty little bob." And so now it's been fully taken over the internet as the CLB.
And I saw
like Chris McMillan, who's a famous hairstylist. He does Aniston. He does like all these famous people. He does Leslie Bibb. He had an Instagram video showing that was like, oh, only Leslie Bibb can pull off the cunty little bob. And then he showed like videos of like Allison Hannigan getting it and like all these other actresses. I think if you have that silky, blonde, fine hair, you get a cunty little whatever you want. You can do a bob, you can do a fucking side shave, a pixie, you can do whatever you want. I have thick ass hair that is hard to deal with. A bang would be absolutely
nightmare.
I
also have thick hair, I understand. But here's the thing, I've also done bobs before, and I kind of look that it makes me look like a killer clown from outer space. Like my hair is so thick and kind of wavy, and I don't know how to do anything with my hair. So when I was growing out my hair, I had just like I looked like Sideshow Bob a little bit, but just it looked like my hair was wearing me for shoes. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes you just got to go for it, Care.
Yeah, I don't think there's an age. I think everybody should do it. I thought about maybe changing the color recently. Like my hair.
What would you do?
Well, my hairdresser was like, my hairdresser. I mean, she was like a stylist. I shouldn't say hairdresser, sounds so old. But she was like, have you ever thought about going like reddish tones? I was like, I haven't. But I only started dyeing my hair when I was like in my 30s doing balayage. And that's what I do right now, which is just like painted on blonde highlights.
Oh.
So I don't really, I'm so boring about it. I know. It's like, when was your last drastic haircut? Never. So maybe now's the time. I don't know. I will say this. My mom and all her sisters have thick hair like mine. And all of them at one point have gotten like the full
big chop
man haircut. How do I describe it? It's not a bob. It's not even a pig. It's like they like literally had like men's haircuts.
Ooh, like 80s from them.
Like kind of just like a I can't even
more
80s,
of a mask haircut.
80s, just like a mask haircut. That like I always was like, oh, that looks so crazy. I always just like never liked it on any of my aunts. My mom, I even think, had a slightly longer version of it when I was younger, but I never really so I've always been a long hair enthusiast, I think, because of that.
You know, it also is interesting. As I was saying this, I just as you were saying that, I realized my mom has always said, as you get older, an older woman shouldn't have long hair. And that was something
which is crazy.
But I just realized that must have been something that was put into them
absolutely.
Because my mom's like, it's inappropriate.
Because I just saw my aunt in her 60s when I was in Florida 2 weeks ago. I'd never in my life seen her hair as long as it was. I was like, this looks amazing on you.
Yes.
She had her hair down to her shoulders. I was like, Grace, I've never seen your hair this long. It looked amazing.
And I wonder if it is also part of it of like, you know, it's a youthful thing to have long hair.
It's a thing to seduce men.
Yes, that you shouldn't have it, or like, oh, you're going gray, you should want to have less of it. You know, I feel like, is it from a source of shame?
Yeah.
Like, is it from you just don't do it? Because I've never asked my mom about where does that come from and why do you feel like older women shouldn't have long hair? But now I'm curious.
I know, and now I'm too scared post kids that like if I cut my hair, it won't grow back
properly.
You know, so I'm sorry. I'm just a little bitch about it. But I want everyone to go get a cunty little bob if they want it. And I want Demi Moore to go gray or not go gray.
Because I love the cunty little bob.
My grays. I'm not ready.
Yeah, not ready to
But
give
when
in.
I'm ready, I'll be ready.
Come to
but
the
when
dark
I'm ready,
side,
I
babe.
would love to have the hair that I have now, like white. I think that'd be cool, like or gray or silver, but like thick and.
Well, that's the crazy part. What they don't tell you, or maybe all hair is different and I don't know anything about hair, but my hair that's growing in gray is growing in I feel like a
pubes?
Targaryen. No, but it is a coarser hair.
Yeah.
It is like thicker
You
hair.
see them in the rear when you're like at a stoplight and you look in the rear view mirror and you just see like these little like gray coarse pubes coming up.
Yes, but
maybe I'm revealing too much about what my pubes look like, but like
some of them are really growing in though and grow. Like I think you just got to let them go. You know,
Yeah.
you got to let them become part of the head.
let it go. Yeah, go
Yes.
Elsa. Go
Yes. Or go elsewhere. Yeah, I said it.
Instacart is here to keep you on the couch this basketball season. With pre-game rituals and post-game interviews, it's hard to find time for everything else. Let Instacart handle your game day snacks or weekly restocks with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. Download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
All right. Well, let's jump into the solicited advice today. We've got some goodies.
Love this.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, my name is Mal. Also, by the way, fucking love you guys. Jackie and Kara, you guys are the best. Your show is always the highlight of my week.
Love you, Mal.
And I really appreciate all the advice that you guys give. I guess for my situation, I guess a little context is that I used to be a full-time exotic dancer, and now I've since been able to get back to my career, and I only dance part-time. But about 4 years ago, I met a man named John, and about a year ago, we had started dating. Over the course of the last year, he has kind of shown his true colors, I guess. And he's kind of gone through cycles where he'll drink heavily. And while he's drinking, he'll end up kind of projecting his own insecurity and kind of self-hatred onto me. And the last few times that he would have a blow up and break up with me, accusing me of stuff that I didn't do, a few times it really wrecked my mental health.
Yeah.
And he's recently just done it again. This time I'm really not feeding into it. And now I finally actually kind of, after seeing the cycle repeat, I'm understanding more how he just is. And I'm not keen on getting back with him this time. And actually, I think us splitting up was one of the best things for us. I'm actually happy without him. But one of his favorite things to do when he's repeating this cycle is to then spread rumors about me. He will go back to the club, my place of employment, and spread rumors to friends and other people about me, just continually blowing up things that I didn't do. And every single time in the past, thankfully people believed me, and I was able to even prove some of his accusations wrong. There was one time he went so far as to go around the club telling people I had herpes when I was able to come back with a clean test. So it's all stupid, but it's still hurtful, and it still sucks. And this time, again, I'm not mad that we split, but I'd like to see if you guys have any good advice about, what to tell people in the case that he goes trying to spread stupid rumors again. And then also, too, the bitch move that I am contemplating doing, but I'm hesitant to, because then I don't know if I'm being a rumor spreader either, is that this man also has a tendency to only just date girls out of the club. And just seeing his true colors and knowing how he acts and knowing how he gets when he drinks, I just don't want that for any other woman in there. I have a lot of friends in there that I care about, and I just don't want them to fall into the same situation that I was in. He's very good at putting on this face of, oh, I'm a kind, respectful guy, and I'm a respectable man. And yeah, that's what got me in the situation that I was in to begin with as well. I'm not saying that there weren't a lot of good times with him, but it's just when he goes on these drinking benders that he just turns into an absolute asshole. And, you know, a couple people, like closer friends in there, I've told them what all he's done, and they believe me, but then say he tries to date another girl that doesn't know me very well, and they only just know the face that he puts up at the club. I would just hate to see them get emotionally blackmailed and hurt in the way that I was. So is it a bitch move to maybe just kind of spread the word a little bit that this man is not quite what he seems and that he's a lot more emotionally unavailable and even toxic than he lets on? I'd love to hear your guys' input on this. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for being you. All right. Bye.
Out the gate, man. Not only is it not a bitch move, but you could save someone.
Yeah.
You can save someone. It is not spreading rumors. I need you to know, you are not spreading rumors. You are alerting people of someone.
I mean, my first thing was like, can you go to the club and say, don't let this guy in? I don't want to anger. I don't want to put you in a position where there's like a guy out there that you're isolating and turning that he could do something bad to you. Do you know what I'm saying? So as much as you feel safe in doing this, I think you should do what we're talking about. But even your boss at least saying like, can he not be allowed in on nights I'm working or whatever?
Yes.
But I agree, like, especially if you've told a couple, I mean, I don't know if you have to do like a full whisper campaign, but definitely tell the few girls that you work with and go, if he starts dating somebody, will you guys let this girl know?
Yes.
Like what happened with us? Because, you know, you can even say he comes across really great at the beginning and we had some good times, but when he drinks, he gets extremely abusive and toxic.
And you never know what can happen. It is one thing when it is towards you. You have no idea what a person is capable of.
What does he get out of telling fucking everybody that his girlfriend of 3 years has herpes? Doesn't that not mean that you probably do too, dude?
Or also intimating that she's doing other thing outside, like that. It intimates a lot. It's just also getting into your life, fucking up your. I know that you said that you're working on a career outside of the exotic dancing, but still fucking up your job. Yeah. Coming into your place of work and fucking up your job and spreading rumors where you work. That is, you got to get this guy away from you. I'm so proud of you that you're not getting back together with him. Never get back together with him. Ever. Yeah. Ever. And I think that I think you're right. You don't need a full whisper campaign, but definitely letting everyone know and at least know who and what he looks like. And if you see anybody talking to him, if he's still allowed in your place of business, definitely just doing a little talk to the person afterwards, just so they know, because right now this person is emotionally abusive, but you have no idea what can happen and what they can do. And I don't trust someone like this, certainly. Yeah. And I just want you to make sure that you take care of yourself. And it's not on you to take care of everybody in the establishment. But
I like your instinct to want to stop this from happening to another woman. And I think that is a thing that like women do try to look out for each other. Yes. Like guys will literally just cover up their friends' crimes, like even if it's just passively ignoring them. But women, I think, are like, oh, how do I our instinct is to be like, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. Like, how do I stop this? You know? So I think as a woman, your instinct is totally understandable and correct. And we had another call about this where a girl was like, I dated this shitty guy and I kind of just like left the friend group. And then another girl later was mad at me for not spreading the word to her that he was shitty and he did the same thing to her. But then those two got together and actually talked it out, the two women. And I think it worked out okay.
That's great.
Like she didn't want us to read her full thing because it was so interesting to me. I wanted to read it. But she was like, we resolved it so you don't have to read it. But I'm not giving enough details to reveal who this person is either. I'm just saying like that was a person who was like, fuck, was I supposed to say something? And it's like, I would err on the side of doing it. But again, I want you to do everything in the context of feeling safe. Yes. And not that he's the kind of guy that's going to be like, you got me blackballed from my favorite club. You told all these girls not to date me and that he's going to fucking do something. If he's vindictive enough to start rumors, I just feel like that behavior could escalate to him slashing your tires or doing something fucked up to you. And I don't like, so I want you to keep it as chill as possible, I guess, while you just get the word to other girls that this is not the guy.
Not only the word to the girls, but also the word to the bouncers and the bartenders and anyone that's working in the establishment. If they're not familiar with him, which I'm assuming they probably are because it seems like he comes in there all the time, but so if you can't make it so that he can't come back in anymore, which I understand, if it can be like, can everybody be watching out with what he's doing and where he's going, just to keep an extra eye out, just to have more eyes on him?
Yeah, because it's like, fuck, ugh. I mean, I'd like to believe that, like, all the like clubs and stuff are looking out for their girls. But ultimately, if this is a guy that comes in and spends money, they might be like, yeah,
I know, that's what I mean.
He just told people about herpes. It's like, that's so vindictive and disgusting.
Yes.
To go around telling people that.
Yes. And I'm sending you all the love. Remember to take care of yourself. And again, stay strong. Don't go back with this person.
It doesn't
matter
like
what he
she
says.
wants to, but
I know, but you never know. These worm tonguers, like, this is a thing.
I know.
People like this are manipulative, and they can be very charming.
Right.
And that's the scariest part, is that they can get people to, like, kind of, honey tongue them in.
Well, also, like, there were so many red flags in this fucking call. Like, oh, he thinks he's a nice guy. He thinks he's Mr. Nice Guy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a respectable guy. Just when I get wasted, I'm a vindictive, toxic saboteur.
No.
Like, that's so bonkers. Like, stay as far away from this fucking man as possible.
No, it's just one thing when someone's like, it's only when I get really, really drunk. It's
that's the thing.
Then never drink ever again.
If you have a friend who's like awesome, except when they're drinking, that's a problem.
Yes, that's someone you don't want to be around.
Yeah, I like him so much when we're playing video games. It's just when he drinks, he threatens to kill me. I mean, it's like, this is insane.
Yes.
All right.
But I'm proud of you for taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And I forgot to say before, this episode today sort of ended up being almost a little thematic. It's a lot about relationships. It's a lot about,
cutting out the extra fat.
Exes, marriages, boyfriend, girlfriend. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. Boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Okay, here we go. So let me read this one.
You've got
hello, ladies. A fellow gentleman bitch here.
Hello.
We love the men to call in. Although I know in this situation I am not the main bitch, I just think I might have done something more or different, and I could be the side bitch in this situation.
Okay.
And we're taking that from
yes.
you. I like side bitch, or like what is it? Accessory bitch. Accessory to bitchiness.
Accessory to bitch.
Long story as short as possible. My younger brother has cheated on my now soon-to-be ex-sister-in-law. Okay. He has cheated on her since day one of their relationship. No, it was not open.
No.
She originally had no idea of said cheating, although she eventually found old text messages from other girls on an older phone of his. And my friend then separately found an email folder which had pictures and texts all dated, saved to this email folder that was named Kinda Important Stuff, which confirmed the cheating, which we both were pretty sure was happening before, but now definitely. She left the house that day. However, 2 days later, came back to the house that we were all living in at the time and apologized to us for convincing everyone that he was cheating, which he was. Since then, he has constantly cheated on her with multiple people, broken up with her, gotten back together with her, and then married her.
Whoa.
All while still sleeping with and telling other women that he will leave her and be with them. He came out in public a bit over a year ago when a very good friend of mine, who was one of the girls he was cheating with, and said that he was leaving his wife for this girl. Then he tried to convince my parents that he never cheated on his wife, which I saw documented proof of him cheating with at least 5 different people.
Why was it all so documented?
I don't know. This guy must take a picture of every girl, or maybe it's screen grab. I don't know. I knew this was going on and constantly tried to tell my friend to stop. This is the friend that's the other woman at this point, to stop, and that he didn't love her and that it was about control, not love. I had to step in then and tell my parents and everyone everything, which then led to a huge blow up with my friend, saying how I was lying, how he always loved her, and how everything with my family now hating her is my fault. Also, she has 3 other kids of her own with 2 other people. He adds that detail. She was a very close friend of mine, my family, and all my friend groups. Most of my family has cut ties with her, although most of my friends still hang out with her, even though every time I'm in the room, a fight on some level will happen. I've stopped hanging out with these friends because it just causes drama, but I feel bad doing so. I feel like the bitch and should have done more or less. Am I the bitch? Okay, so just in case any of this was confusing, it's brother is named Bob, let's say. He's married to someone named Sarah, and he's been cheating on her with many women, including Stacy. And Stacy's friends with the writer of this email, and writer of the email, Ben, let's say, has been telling Stacy, don't be with my brother. He cheats. He's cheating. He's going to cheat on you like he cheats on his wife. I mean, did you tell your sister-in-law when this was happening, or she just found it out?
Yeah, I want to know because there's all of these, so there's all the receipts, right? And Ben, who wrote in, knows that all the receipts exist.
We made up these names, by the way.
Yeah. None of these are real. But so Ben knows that all of these things exist. And so you feel like you might be the bitch because you weren't telling. Yeah, because that's my question. Did you tell your sister, your almost ex-sister-in-law? Did you assume and tell, Stacy everything? Because Sarah and Stacy.
Yeah.
Did you tell both of them?
This is so complicated. But also, I don't know that I could in good conscience watch my brother habitually cheat on a woman, break up with her, get back together with her over and over, and then marry her and have kids with her without ever saying anything to him about it or warning this girl.
But at the same time,
some point.
Didn't this girl, if she was friends with all of them, didn't she also know that he was doing this? Or at least assume because
you're talking about the new
apart?
girl. I'm talking about the ex-wife.
You're talking about the ex-wife.
I'm talking about the ex-wife. If you're the brother and you've watched your brother cheat, you're the writer here. The writer of this email has been watching his brother cheat on his sister-in-law since day one of their relationship. But I'm guessing you attended the wedding. You did you ever talk to your brother about it? Did you ever talk to your brother about it? Or were you just this is bro code, I shouldn't get involved? So I guess essentially at some point your sister-in-law had enough. I don't know. I mean, thank God she's getting out of this. I can't tell whether you helped her or not. And then you're basically trying to stop your friend from getting into the same landmine. So you kind of blew up the entire story. And now your family feels like she's the other woman. Whatever. I just don't even care what's going on with this girl. I care about the fact that your brother is pretty much a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Your brother's a piece of shit guy, and your parents, are they not confronting him about it? He's lied to everybody. He's lied to your parents. He's lied to all these women that he cheats with. He's got a serial cheating problem.
Even said, and then I had to tell my parents and everyone everything. So the writer did tell. So I guess the parents didn't know about all this stuff going on in the marriage. So I guess also, do you feel like you're a bitch for telling everybody about all this stuff? Or do you feel like a bitch because it took you this long to tell everybody about this stuff?
He said he's willing to give us more juicy details. So I want you to write us back and tell us a little bit more timeline.
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm hearing that you kind of... Look, it's better to help at all, even if it's better late than never.
Yes.
I don't love that you watched this other poor woman, your sister, soon-to-be ex-sister-in-law.
Put through the ringer.
Put through the fucking ringer, and now there's kids involved with your brother who's a serial cheater, and maybe he's a great dad, but he's a fucking... He's got a problem going on if he can literally not stay truthful or loyal to anybody. Mm-hmm. Unless, look, if you want to be in open relationships, that's a different thing. But
you got to decide and tell the person you're in a relationship with if you want an open relationship.
So, if you're wondering if you're the bitch because you could have done less, I don't think there's any way you could have done less. I think you did the bare minimum here by, informing the family that they were being lied to. I don't think it's if your brother had come to you and been like, we're having problems, it just happened. But it's that's not what happened. It's your brother just fucks other people all the the time because he does what he wants. And no one calls him out on it, including you. And so
why does he get in relationships? At this point, stop.
Just be single.
Go bang about the town, bro. What are you doing?
That's the thing. It's like no one's begging you to have a girlfriend.
But here's the thing, though. At the same time, it depends on what you get out of the situation. Yeah, if you've got kids that need to be taken care of, well, yeah, you do want a girlfriend or a wife. You've got some, it's like, if you, it does make sense of why, it does reminds me all the time of just the latest Ali Wong special was her screaming about how, like, do you know how successful I would be if I had a wife?
Yeah. It's so true. It's so fucking true. If I had a wife helping me, I would be running a Fortune 500 company right now. But like, yeah, I think I just need a little bit more to this story. I think you probably could have done more by just going to your brother originally and being like, hey man, what's going on with you? Like, I think maybe you should see a therapist or and that's, all easier said than done. But this kind of behavior is not cool.
He's got a problem.
And then but I can understand why you extricated yourself from this friend group where your brother is involved in fucking all these different people. And now the girlfriend that you tried to warn is blaming you for everything. When really it's like no one is putting the blame in the correct place where it's supposed to be. And it's on this guy, your brother. So yeah, give us a backup. We're going to come back to a part 2 of this one next in another episode. I want more info. But thank you. This does seem really juicy, and I'd love some more details and some more info.
Instacart is here to keep you on the couch this basketball season. With pre-game rituals and post-game interviews, it's hard to find time for everything else. Let Instacart handle your game day snacks or weekly restocks with delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Because it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. Download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
Okay, let's get into another voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Okay, so here's my story. I recently had this encounter with my boyfriend, and we weren't supposed to see each other. So this weekend we live an hour and a half from each other, and we decided that he wanted to see me in the morning. So I said, okay, come on over, and he would just back on to join whatever activities I was up to that day with my daughter, who is 5, and she's not his child. So we ended up going to the playground for hours because my friend was playing with her friends, and that's just, what I was going to do for the day. And then we got back in the car finally. I could tell that he was getting a little bit irritated with, being there so long. He's trying to quit smoking. A few things are happening in his life. And my daughter, we didn't have much snacks. I was unprepared at the playground. But he had recently brought her some, candy that was intended for her, some, peckers. And they were in the car. And so she asked to have one on the way home. And so I gave her a sucker, and that was fine. And then we were driving home, and she's 5. Let me reiterate that. She ate the candy, and then she's, in her car seat. She can't maneuver super well, and she decides that she's going to throw the wrapper up to me to get rid of it for trash, which, yes, is a bad behavior. I understand that. But it really irritated him, and he was in a pretty bad mood for the rest of the car ride, and I couldn't really tell. It was just a, 8-minute car ride to get back home. And we get back home, and I don't think much of that encounter. And he had said something like, I can't believe she did that. And I had, told her, hey, put it in your cup holder. Don't throw trash at us. And that was it. And then we get out of the car, and she heads inside. And then I turn around, and he has crushed the other suckers into the sidewalk out front so that she could see, I guess, what he decided was her punishment. So I was really, really shocked. And basically I had my daughter go watch Pokemon in the other room so I could break up with him. So it wasn't, the only thing that he'd ever done, and I felt the relationship was starting to deteriorate before. Anyways, I want to know, who's the bitch? Was I not strict enough with my child? What do you think? Thanks.
Whoa.
Boy.
Okay. All right. Wow. Can I just say congratulations?
Yeah, you dodged a bullet.
Wow. Shed that weight we don't need.
Like, this seems like such a small little thing. And like, sure, he's quitting smoking. He's irritable. He's in a bad mood. So are we all.
Yeah.
You do not get to discipline someone else's child as much as you'd like to.
Nope.
Especially your girlfriend who you maybe haven't even discussed. Like, if you guys are getting married and you're going to be co-parenting together, you can discuss what's appropriate for you to take on if you're going to be her father figure or something like that.
There needs to be a discussion.
But it is to give a child a gift and then ruin the gift in front of them as a punishment.
Like a child.
Because they threw trash. I mean, literally, girl. I mean, my kids act like I'm their fucking servant. Like they just throw shit at me and I go, excuse me. That happens all the time. They literally don't have impulse control half the time, But
also there's got to be moments though. And I know that there is because I've seen you do this before where there are times when like you're having a bad day. I'm sure, not that I've seen you blow up your kids, but I'm saying like that there are times when it's like, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this. And then the one last thing and it makes you like, ugh. But that is also not an appropriate way to act. And if you are having issues because you are quitting smoking and you're being a grumble puss, well, go somewhere else while you're going through this. Because as someone that has been through the quitting smoking grumble pusses, you know what I did? I distanced myself from people until I could be a little bit nicer. Because I remember specifically yelling, I'm in the middle of quitting smoking while I was saying a horrible thing to Jeff. This is while we were still in the beginning of our relationship. And he's like, and I don't have to take it. And he was right.
Yeah.
And just because someone's going through something doesn't mean not only do they not have any right to treat you that way, but they certainly don't have a right to treat your fucking child in any kind of way.
And he was being a baby bitch because he didn't want to be at the playground for that long. And the day was revolving around your kid. And so guess what? If he's not ready for that kind of thing, then he's not ready to date you and have you and your kid be part of his life. And the other thing is, I'm all about other people kind of helping parent people's kids. Like if a kid's doing something shitty at the playground, I will tell the kid that. That's different than a punishment. I think it would have been absolutely okay for you to go, hey, I can't bring you candy anymore if you're going to be throwing trash at us,
Exactly.
Like I brought you that as a gift. Like I don't want the trash back, like whatever. You could have absolutely said something.
Yes.
But to physically have a temper tantrum. It's
Smash
wild.
the lollipop
It's
into the
wild,
sidewalk.
girl. He's a bitch. You got out of there. Good
but
job.
Also, so proud of you for seeing that and you're like, I don't want that in my life.
Yeah, you did it.
Done.
You got that done in short order.
Hell yes,
Go watch
you
Pokemon,
did.
baby. Mommy has to take care of something.
Dude,
I love that.
Cut that out,
Yeah.
bitch. Yes, you did it for you. You did it for your kid, and I'm so happy for you.
And look, and that'll be a hard learned lesson for him if he dates another woman with a kid. You don't fucking get involved, like physically disciplining or like taking things away. You know,
you have a conversation.
I see shit like this all the time on the internet where people are like, "Oh, my boyfriend took away such a thing from my kid." It's like, your boyfriend is not the disciplinarian unless that's an arrangement that you guys have made.
Yep.
Where he's going to help do that with you because you guys have been together for years and this kid sees him as a father figure and that's what you're going to do.
Yes.
It's not just for him to just take that on. And it's always men that think they can do that. What is that? Okay, Jackie, read this next email.
Got you. Hello, Kara and Jackie. I love this show. You both have a great way of understanding the nuances in people's relationships, and I would love some of your insight to my current bitchuation. Okay, a bit of context before I get into it. First, I am a cisgender female in a heterosexual marriage. We have been together about 12 years, married for 5. We have 2 children together. Second, about 1 year ago, I had an emotional affair with another man. I was unhappy in my marriage, feeling disrespected and unappreciated on pretty much a daily basis. He would make a lot of jokes at my expense, and when I brought that up, I was being too sensitive. The majority of the responsibilities also came mostly on me. I made more money, did most of the housework and most of the childcare. Instead of doing some self-reflection and having some serious and difficult conversations with my partner, I reached out to an old fling. I was eventually talking and flirting with this person every day for a couple of months. I realized I had some big feelings for this other guy and had really gotten myself in a bad situation and was being a total bitch. I told my husband about this, and luckily, instead of just saying, "Bye, bitch," we agreed to work on our relationship. We had a few months of counseling, but had to put that on pause since money was a bit tight. We're still working on things, and most days are tough because he's really struggling getting past what I did. Third bit of context is that I have told him that I need more help around the house. I do all of the cleaning around the house, laundry, dishes, picking up, etc. I'm not a neat freak by any means, but have explained to him that when there's clutter all over, I feel anxious. Oh, I get you.
Amen.
I feel I can't just get on top of things and like I'm not doing anything right. It kind of snowballs in my own head. He helped out more for a week or so, then kind of stopped. Here's the current situation. A couple of weeks ago, I brought it up again and said if there was one thing that could be his responsibility daily, that would really help because I can kind of check that thing off my list. He begrudgingly agreed to do the dishes every day. Well, that has not happened. It's been a couple of weeks and he's done them every few days. We're a family of 4, so dishes pile up quick. I've given in and done them a couple of times because seeing the pile of dishes is driving me nuts. Is he the bitch for not doing what he agreed to? Or am I the super bitch because I had an affair and I should just suck it up and do all the things for a while to make up for it? Thanks for any help, Anonymous. Also, I was thinking that maybe I didn't make my husband sound as good as he is. It's not that he doesn't do anything for us. He's the fixer of things in the house. He cooks quite a bit, and he's a great dad. He obviously has great qualities, and I love him. I just feel that there are things that need to change, but I have lost a lot of my credibility.
Tough one.
Tough one. And also really appreciate the context of the situation. Really appreciate you building this out for us and sharing this with us, especially in a time period when, you know, you've already done the couples counseling and you're just not in a place right now that can be done. Really appreciate you still trying to get an outside perspective on this. And I want you to be aware of that. You are still working to try to be like, you are working towards it. So nothing of what you're doing, I feel right now, is being a bitch because it's not going to be immediate. Like, this is how we fix it. Now we're done. And all that's done because that's not just how it's going to go. But I'm proud of you for working towards it and reaching out and trying to get perspective. Now, how do you feel? Now, Kara, I know as a family of 4, I could feel you.
Oh, those dishes pile up.
I could feel you bristling next to me as I read this. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I get this so hard. And I feel like so many women are in this exact same situation where, like, I just saw an Instagram video or whatever, a reel or a TikTok or something of some guy going, "Your wife is your partner, not your mom. Your wife is your partner, not your mom." Like, like just the way that these men are like, "Yep, my laundry gets done for me, this and that." I have literally had to train my husband over so much time, and now dishes are his thing. He always does them on time. Like, he does do a few more things. I still take on so much more, but I'm exactly the same as you. I can't have my house a mess. It makes my brain crazy.
Yes.
I can't do other things until I see my house is like in good shape.
Same.
So it's like that. I get that. I don't, you had an emotional affair. I understand like what led to that. You're a human being. You made a mistake. But now it feels like he's holding you hostage or like you're not, you don't pay for that forever.
No.
Like,
And
I feel bad that you're like, am I the bitch? Because should I just suck it up and do everything because I had the affair?
No.
You made a mistake, and he's making a current mistake right now, which is not supporting you.
Yes.
And you guys have to come together to work together, or else, like, I'm not even saying like that what led to the affair was his fault, but it was more of the same. It was this. It was like
miscommunication.
Yeah, it was you feeling like you did everything.
Yes.
And you went somewhere else because you weren't feeling happy, that you were being so overburdened. You should not have done that. Of course, you know that. But it's not like nothing exists in a vacuum. You weren't living, he wasn't doing everything But
I guess, have you said exactly that? Like,
Yeah.
have you had a discussion? Obviously, I know that you were starting to in couples therapy, but outside of couples therapy, where has that conversation, have you ever said all of literally what you said in this email of like the reason of why you were feeling so distant and not feeling appreciated, and that all of those things snowballed and got you to the place to make the choices that you made? That is he aware of all of the things that you were feeling to get to the place that you made the decisions that you made? Does he know that doing things like, he might just see it as, oh, they want me to do this thing and I'll get to it, and seeing it as just a chore, where to you this isn't just a chore. It is about a pile up of things on you and how you feel in your marriage. And those little things, okay, maybe dishes isn't his thing. Maybe that's just not what his wheelhouse is. This is something that I also had to work on in my relationship, because my husband was raised by neglectful parents.
Yeah.
And so in the beginning of our relationship, he's like, well, you tell me what needs to get done and then I'll do it. And I was like, well, I'm not your mother. I don't need to tell you what to do and then for you to do it just because you're not aware of it. But I changed then what I needed from him. I needed him to take some of it off of my plate. But what were things that were in his wheelhouse that he was going to also remember to do, that he was going to see it and be like, oh, this needs to be done. And reminding him of, oh, that needs to be done, just to get that into his brain.
Yeah.
I get that. And it's, but I also don't have kids.
No,
so I
but it's not even that. It's just like they have been together for 12 years.
I know.
You've been together for 12 years. Like, I know it was hard for my husband at the beginning too.
Yeah.
Then we had kids and it was like, step it up. Like we started, we would fight more, and it would be like, I'd be like, I feel like I'm doing too much. And he'd be like, what can I take? He should be asking, what can I take off your plate? And I know this happened a year ago, and there's no time limit on feeling upset about this, but I think you guys need to separate what needs to get done for the functioning of the household from his feelings about what happened.
Completely.
If that is affecting your sex life, or that is affecting like the way you guys feel close together, that makes total sense. But there has to be a way that he can compartmentalize the betrayal he feels from you. That doesn't mean that your kids need to be in a kitchen with dishes piled up for 3 days.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Completely, yes.
Or like that,
it's separating the art from the artist. It's like separating, like, no, we also are a functioning family. What needs to be done for the family that is separate from our emotions?
And it sucks, but like I feel like you have to just kind of keep hammering this and be like,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you said dishes were going to be okay, and now it's been a week and you're not doing the dishes. Like, I really need them to be done every single day. So what do you want to do? You want to make a chart? What's going to work for you? Do you want to set alarms in your phone? Like, what's going to work for you? Because I am going to lose it if I don't get some more help around this house.
Right. But also, what's going to work for him, but what's going to work for you? Is it going to drive you batty to every day say, hey, and the dishes, but what about the dishes?
And if he goes, well, I'm just feeling so depressed about what you did to me a year ago, you got to go, babe, I'm happy to talk about that. Right now, we're talking about our house and how we run our house together.
Yes. We need to separate.
That's not what we're talking about this moment.
Yes.
You do not need to sit here and be like self-flagellate because you feel like, you're paying penance for some kind of, you made a mistake. You made a mistake.
Yes.
You made a mistake that upsets him.
I also feel like it's not all right. And I think that we should normalize the fact that it's not all right in a relationship, that if someone does something that another person can't get past, that it is, then if you cannot get past this, we need to end the relationship then. Because if this is something you're going to continue to hold over my head, that's not going to make anything grow or change in any kind of positive way.
And I hate to say that because you sound like you love him and you have 2 kids together, but like this behavior does kind of feel like a continuation of the feeling disrespected and underappreciated like you felt before you had this affair. So I'm not saying like, wow, he better ship up or you're going to do it again.
No.
I'm just saying like this is like ongoing behavior with him that he's not changing. And first of all, literally fuck it when people say you're being too sensitive. If you go to a partner and you say, I don't really like when you make that joke about that. Oh, you're being too sensitive. No, there's nothing about, and also can we please, if you feel something that like your partner is being too sensitive, can you take a moment and be like, okay, they're taking this in a way that is not the way in which I am intending it. There must be a reason why they're taking it in the way that it's like, that is how I talk to my partner. It doesn't mean that like not every once in a while, like you'll say something kind of shitty to each other, but rather than immediately reacting, you respond rather than reacting. It's taking that second to be like, why are you saying this the way that you're saying it? And I know sometimes the kids are fucking screaming and there's a million things going on and there's dishes in this sink and so you don't have the time to be like, let's unpack this for a second. Right.
But while we're sitting here talking about it, there's something about, it's like if you ever say you're being too sensitive to a person, think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Just think about where the person's coming from.
Yeah. It's like when a man tells you to calm down. When in the history of time has that ever worked? I would just say, like, yeah, I would like if somebody says, oh, I tell my husband all the time, I go, I really didn't like it when you made that joke. And he goes, he'll always say, I'm sorry. I thought it would be funny and I didn't think you cared about that. I apologize. Like, right. That's it. That's all you want is to feel heard. You're being too sensitive. Okay, that's who I am and that's who you married. So fucking fuck off with that.
Yep.
I want to say that. But yeah, it's like, I don't excuse this mistake that you made, but and he has absolutely the right to feel betrayed, but I just don't think that, I think you guys need to separate what's going on personally in your love from what's going on in the division of labor in your home. And why don't you Google a couple articles about the mental load and like how women just have him read some stuff? Because I've sent that to my husband before and been like, I sent an article about the mental load to my husband before we had children. I said, this is how I feel. And he was making way more money than me. I go, but this is how I feel. I schedule all your doctor's appointments. I do the laundry. I do everything in our house. Like I control our lives. I do all the bills. Mom. Yeah, I'm not your mom. You know? And like you have to take on a few things. And honestly, having kids kind of like put that into glaring focus for us. And but like Jackie said, I hate to say it, but like if this is going to be something that you keep revisiting and he just keeps dropping the ball on and he tells you that it's because of your mistake or you glean that it's from your mistake. Yeah. If he can't get past it, then I don't know if you guys have a future.
I just feel like when someone says that they can get past or work together towards a different, experience in a relationship together, you're relying and you're trusting that person that they will let that go and will work with you.
Yeah.
Right now, your partner, he's not working with you.
Right.
He's not. He's working against you. And you need to work together moving forward. And I hope that he comes around. And I hope that you guys can build on this because you already have a beautiful life together. And I know that you don't want to just get rid of it, but also you don't deserve to have something held over your head like that.
Right.
You've already apologized.
You've apologized. A year has passed. You're working towards it. You've done therapy together. You've both committed to stay together. Like these things happen. But fuck, people have to do, it's like we're not even close to 50-50 in the home.
Yeah.
We just aren't.
No.
Like there's barely any homes that are 50-50. And it's like even asking men for 75-25 or whatever, they can't even, half of them cannot wrap their brains around it. It's just like, no.
Yep.
This is not women's work anymore. Get your shit together. Do some laundry. Do fucking dishes.
A good friend of mine really swears by, I'm going to butcher it, but essentially that the idea of like, it's the 80-80 conversation that in a partnership is like, especially with children around, that like you're not giving like 50-50, you're giving 80-80. You don't need to meet, like you shouldn't be meeting a partner halfway. You should be going above and beyond in any way that you can. You should be giving 80-80 rather than 50-50.
Who's the other woman? Who's the woman? Is it Brene Brown or one of those like ladies that's like the new
Brown.
That said like it's you're never 50, always in the relationship someone is at 50 and someone is at 40 or
right.
you know, and like
and
you have to make up the balances for each other and it tips back and forth or whatever. But it sounds like you've spent 12 years really with the scale tipped towards you in terms of the load you're taking on, and you got to start
advocating for yourself.
You got to start advocating for yourself
this.
and shake off this guilt that you have for this other thing. That's to me, it's a separate issue.
Yes.
Everything's related, but like you can say, if you want to talk about that, I'm happy to set a time for us to talk
Divide
about
and
that
conquer.
and get more into that. But right now I'm talking about our home and the way we like, you know, run our home.
Yep.
And you might be okay with dishes in the sink for 4 days. I'm not. And you know, whatever. Oh, gosh,
Thank
grow up,
you guys.
everybody.
God.
Thank you, everybody, for writing in about, honestly, mostly bad men, I would say. But no, not all.
Not all of them.
But we really appreciate you guys trusting us with your stories, talking to us, asking us questions.
Yes, sharing your goss. We love your goss and love hearing from you guys. Who'sthebitch.com.
That's where you can find our phone number to call us, which is 424-666-0667 in case you have a pen and a paper ready right now.
Yes.
We're also at Who's the Bitch LPN on Instagram, where we post extra little bitchlets.
Come check out our bitchlets.
Little quick answers that we do up there. And you can also email us at who'stheblpn@gmail. Who'sthebitch.com has all the info. And we can't wait for next week and to hear more of your bitchy little situations.
Love you guys so much. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Hey everybody, Conan O'Brien here with an ad about my podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I've had so many fantastic conversations with people I truly admire, people like Michelle Obama, Bruce Springsteen, Maya Rudolph, Tom Hanks. New episodes are out every Monday, and we have a really good time, so subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts.